This stream is proudly brought to you by whatiszs.com. ZS is coming. Issues, yeah, just trying to fix them. And yes, so pretty much, yes, as you see by the thing up on the screen, I'm just trying to remove some stuff off the screen. Yes, we yeah, we get to what the... No, I don't want to shut OBS down. What are you trying to do? OBS is trying to shut itself down here, so I'm just trying to work out what is going on. And yeah, we're still going. Sorry about that, folks. It's just having a little nightmare at the moment. The software is deciding that it wants to do what it wants to do, and I've lost my chat. I've lost everything, so just bear with me, everybody, and I'll get it up. But yes, the last 2 nights have been a very, very, and I'm going to say this, enjoyable experience. Very enjoyable. I went to sleep and pretty much thought I was dying. I really did. I actually thought I was dying and then died. Pretty much went through what, I don't know what they call it, but I would call it a dimensional wall of stuff that started coming towards me. I was laying in bed, and it's the strangest abduction experience. I don't think I've ever actually been awake when it actually happened. And so pretty much I was just sitting there, and sorry guys, I can't read the chat. As you can see, I'm just trying to get it up, and I'm going to leave the chat up there today. And yes, so it was a very, very strange experience, and I truly walked the streets of Nibiru within minutes of the g'day Rachel, Raquel, how are you? Within minutes of being taken, and it wasn't a rough abduction or anything. As I started going through it, there was a blank period for a couple of minutes after I went through the wall. My lungs felt very hard, as in other words, it was extremely hard to breathe. I thought I was dying, and I really did. I truly thought I was dying. It's one of the signs of a heart attack, actually. that you have trouble breathing and stuff like that. And for the first, I would say 20 minutes, I was under the assumption I'd entered the kingdom of heaven. And I really, truly thought I had died. And the experience wasn't scary. It was quite beautiful, because at first, when I started seeing things, I was like going through a city that was so heavenly, it was beyond a joke. And I mean, it was heavenly. But as I'm going through this city, and I realised all of a sudden I'm wearing this kind of a suit that every now and then it would open up and my lungs would become heavy again, and then it closed up again, and I think one of them were actually controlling it. There were, and I'm saying this, there were fucking giants everywhere. There were normal size people everywhere, human looking people, and also what we call cherubim, which is actually their name. The name of their race is a cherubim, which was stolen by the people that wrote the Bible from the Anunnaki tablets. And the cherubim is a race that was, I don't know whether they were created. I wasn't there that long. I didn't have a history lesson, but I did know that they were called cherubim. It was spoken into my mind. I didn't understand their words when they spoke to each other, but I can tell you now, it sounded very much like that recording. Where is it's in the other room. Sounded very much like that recording, and but I don't know if the things are the thing, but the further we go down and everything, and I'm just looking at this beautiful city. And the more I go through this city, I start seeing pyramids, and I'm seeing sphinxes, I'm seeing dogmen, or like, in other words, guards with dog masks being worn. And it's sort of pretty much, you walked all through this city. I walked into what I assumed was a punishment area, and the feelings of that person were going straight into my brain, and I saw everything she was fearing, everything she was going through, and it was a female that was going through this event. And it sort of, I thought, shit, this is judgment. And it sort of was weird. I couldn't get over the fact that I've got this suit on and everything like that. I thought the colours of some of the races were because of the suit, because there were blue, there were green, and I'm telling you now, everything you saw from fucking ancient Egypt were there. And we kept on going through, and for some unknown reason, they brought my dogs with me. So my dogs were actually there as well, but for some unknown reason weren't in suits. And they took us through, we walked through, and I think we were there approximately 9 hours. They let me breathe their atmosphere over 100 times, and it was just acclimatizing. And it was pretty things at some stages. I didn't even walk. We were being transported by some kind of machine, and I wouldn't even be able to describe how it worked. It just moved. And this just kept on making me think, oh, fucking hell, I'm dead. I really, truly thought I was fucking dead. And I thought, okay, well, if this is heaven, we've been lied to all our fucking life. And then I think they heard my thoughts and said, this is not heaven, this is Nibiru. And actually said it by the name Nibiru. It sounded differently, and the way we pronounce it wouldn't be the same. I don't even think I could pronounce it the way they pronounced it, but it still came out as Nibiru. They put emphasis into a certain part of it. I forget which part of it. I was more thinking about, well, okay, this is weird. And then they just kept on showing me what was going on. I'd been through a couple of dimensional doors. Well, I called them dimensional walls because it was just like a dimension sheet, just all as if this giant wave, you walk through this giant wave. I wouldn't call it the Stargate type of wave. I'd call it more a pinkish, a blackish, little bit of a ripple in it. And it was most probably, this was last night and the night before, guys. This was last night and the night before. It scared the living shit out of me, and I mean, but it was enjoyable. It was an enjoy, and like everywhere I walked, I looked at different types of buildings. They were all granite, and I mean it was granite, polished fucking granite. And they showed me a sample of it. I don't know how they made those megalithic blocks. They were melted together. They showed me a sample of it. Let me hold it. It was fucking amazing to hold this sample of melted granite, all the different colours. And I think it was a way, and I wasn't the only one that was there. I was aware of 3 or 4 other people there with me, but couldn't really see them because I couldn't see through the masks on the suit. And they were going through the same thing as me. And then pretty much, this went on for about 9 hours, and I just saw so much of their city, it was beyond a joke. I don't know what the city was called, and I can tell you now it was like walking down a street of fucking Egypt back in the day when Egypt was the fucking main thing. And it's the first time I have ever been allowed to stay awake during an abduction experience. And it's sort of very fucking freaky. But they put knowledge into my head, i.e. like Nibiru is going to be around for a couple more years, guys. It takes time to pass us. That's why their orbit takes 36,000 years. And unfortunately, it's going to cause a few problems on our planet. And they can't do nothing about it because that's their orbit of their planet. They go through problems as well on Nibiru. And they've been through major disasters and things like that. And they can't help it. They're just as much victim as we are. By the way, they actually believe that their planet is alive, and they believe Earth is alive. So that one's a new one to me. And but the whole thing is, it's sort of just really, really strange. And after about 9 hours of them opening the suit up, my lungs were getting really, really, really sore. And I think they realised that. And next thing I know, I'm back in my house. 9 hours exactly. And I hadn't needed to go to the toilet or anything like that. I hadn't needed to drink. Didn't need to do anything whilst I was there. I don't sleep for 9 hours. Trust me, I do not sleep for 9 hours. And it was not a dream because I know I was there. I know I was walking. My legs were fucking sore. But they weren't sore. It was as if something was fucking helping me go through all this. All right, no worries, man. Yeah, look, you got to contact me, MA. It's sort of like, show Brian Forrester this fucking video because I went through this, dude, and it's fucking, like, I seriously thought I was dead. I really did, MA. I seriously thought I was dead. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I thought I was dead, because I didn't need to drink and I didn't need to eat. And so I woke up. I even sent Scott, I sent Scott a couple of fucking emails because, like, I was so fucking excited about what the fuck happened to me. And then I went to fucking bed again last night because I thought, yeah. And, wow. And I thought, no. And then I went through the same thing again. But this time, when I went in there, my lungs didn't hurt as much. They still hurt, but they only hurt after I'd spent a few hours sitting down with them in their house. But they took me to, and I walked, this time I walked in my own clothes. One of the ladies thought I was a bit of a offensive smell, but apparently they've got sensitive nostrils. And then I was with people again. I was with a young fella, most probably in his, I'd say would have been at least 25. And there was an older lady there, there were another two ladies there, and there was another gentleman, but I think he was Nibiru. He was human size, but I think he was Nibiru. And they were sitting along around this punishment area or whatever it was. And I just instantly said, something's going to happen to you, you're going to see everything this person is going through, you have to bear it. And then the tall giant, and I'd say she was about 20 foot tall because I eventually did walk behind her, and man did she have a cute bum. No, Emerald. Just the strangeness of it, and she's just turned around to me and thought straight into my brain and said, no, you don't have to endure it. In other words, you just block it out. You just don't think about it, and you don't have to endure what that person is going through. And I think it was a punishment of some description, but she told us to drink out of these little bowls that were actually into the concrete, or the marble, or whatever it is they do on the ground. But I think it was like it's like a concrete, but it was marble sort of thing. And you had to actually get down on your belly to drink from this thing. You couldn't drink from it unless you were laying flat on your belly. And then you had to put your two hands in from the side and drink from it. After that, didn't experience anything the lady was going through. And it sort of was really, really strange. And then she's just turned around to all of us that were there and everything, and I think like they were just as human as I was, and they said, come with us. And they were walking down this beautiful, and I mean beautiful, pink marble, and it sort of, but then I'm looking at it and I'm saying that's not normal marble, and it sort of, but then it turned into a granite, and then it was just polished granite. It was the only room that had marble in it. And so we're going out of there. I don't know whether it's because of the wet area, whether it was a religious area or there was something to it. And then we walked down the corridor, and we kept on walking down a bloody long corridor, tall as anything, wide as anything. In other words, 3 or 4 giants of their size, and they were 20, and trust me, there's bigger giants than they were. But as we're going down the thing, she's walking, holding the hand of the little man that she was with. And she was sort of leaning to one side. I don't know whether she was escorting him, doing it as a... I don't know. I don't know what his relationship was. But I know he spent time in the kitchen. So that one sort of threw me out a little bit. But they took us into the room with the table and everything, and she's told me to take a drink. Now, when I went to take the drink, I lifted the glass, like this is a giant size glass, and I mean, like I still could hold it. I'd say it was about equivalent to a 2 litre bottle, a 2 litre Coke bottle, about equivalent to that. But man, the friggin' thing was so heavy. As I'm lifting it, I just spilt all the water. It was just so fucking heavy. Like whatever it was made out of was just beyond a joke. And unfortunately the water went all over the table. I got it all over the guests and everything like that. And then everybody had to clean up. I apologised, and they just laughed because, in other words, I think they knew what would happen. And then pretty much during the meal, it sort of, which wasn't even, I don't even know what it was or how we ate it. I can't even remember that, but I know because I felt satisfied at the end, because they were pumping so much information to all of us. We were pretty much dumbfounded, sitting there, listening to them, but they're not even talking. They were just thinking it, and we're hearing it. And this just spun me the fuck out. And this is when I actually realised that we weren't in heaven. We were actually on Nibiru. So I had walked the streets of Nibiru the day before, and again the next day, and it was only when my lungs started hurting, one of the other ladies started hurting, the whole thing pretty much ended, and they said, you've got to go. And next thing I know, bang, I'm back in my bed. Not a problem. But I saw the dimensional wall leave, and when it comes into your house, it just moves to the side. They take you, and I think it just vanishes. I don't know, because I didn't see behind me. All I know is they took me home. I mean, I don't know. Ask Scott Harrison how many emails I sent him after the fucking thing happened. I was like so fucking excited. It was beyond a joke. But I know some of the information they have given me, I actually think that they are causing the Mandela effect. After seeing this dimensional wall, and it is dimensional, because 1 minute you're in one place, the next minute you're in the other. Somehow I think their technology may even be causing the effect. But there's more than one of us, because I saw 2 emeralds whilst I was there. So I don't know if they take us from different worlds or whatever, and because they created us. You've got to remember that. It's sort of like, even I thought that when I first got here and started watching the other Bluebeard's vids and everything. It's sort of, the Bible has been stolen from the thing. But guess what? This is not the first incarnation of man on this planet, this particular planet. This is not the first incarnation. They've been remade a couple of times, because unfortunately Earth has wiped themselves out in the past. They've got hands on the weapons, which I think that's where all nukes came from. And yes, they've got weapons. I think this is why all these shutdowns are going on at telescopes in America. Maybe they've seen Nibiru, or they've seen Nibiru and ships, because like, I think they're taking some of us. And I know what that thing in the implant is for. It's how they find us. It's how they come to us. They know exactly where we are, no matter where we are, and they can take us any time we want. They want. You can see them quite clearly, and it is just as real as putting your hand out in front of you and touching a table, or touching your mouse, or touching your TV, or patting your dog. They are just as real. Somehow it's got something to do with it. Now, we call it heaven because one thing they emphasised to me, there are 2 paths, and a very narrow one to the kingdom of heaven. And that's one thing they said to me, that I'm going to remember this one for the rest of my life. Like, I don't know whether that lady was going through judgment, whether or not I did enter heaven. Maybe I did actually die. Yeah, I know the security team reported the shutdown. This could be why the shutdown happened. And the thing is, it's sort of, this was freaky, guys. This was really, truly freaky. It's sort of, I walked the streets of Nibiru. Nibiru's not that far away, guys. Oh, it is. But for them, it's not. They've got a fleet of ships sitting outside our fucking Earth. All the time. All the fucking time. They've been sitting there for some years. I think they may even be what John Leonard Walson is seeing. This may be is why Trump thinks a Space Force is going to be effective. Guess what, Donald? It's not going to be fucking effective. Trust me. I've seen them. They showed me things that, like, I could never believe. I've seen the races of beings that we call aliens walking the streets of fucking Nibiru. They are part of their community. They are called cherubim. That is their race. They are called cherubim. They're not called greys, they are called cherubim. And even the Bible spoke of cherubim, little creatures, cherubim, angels, that can fly off into the sky. But guess what? They fly off into the sky in fucking spaceships. I am never going to forget this abduction experience my whole fucking life. But looking at their technology, I reckon this could be causing the Mandela effect. I was talking the other night about what could be causing it. Now I'm throwing this into the possibilities of it. To me, this is freaky. It's sort of like, I've come up with some different things. I've watched some of the other Bluebeards, different abduction experiences, but this is nothing like what they went through. This was beautiful. Their cities are beautiful, but it looks like, and yes, there's fucking pyramids, and they're all made of granite, shiny, melted granite. Those little gaps that you can't see, it's because they melt the fucking things. They make the granite. It's amazing, folks. It truly, truly is amazing. I've been hanging to make this vid. I was going to make it the other night, and I thought, nah, I actually want to go back to sleep and see if it happens again. I thought I was just going to get walked around the streets in a suit again. I didn't realise that I would be taken to a table and sat down with them. And like when I say, like, she had a cute bum, she absolutely had a cute bum. They are shaped exactly the same fucking way we are. We were truly made in their fucking image. And it was absolutely fucking amazing. And every 3,600 fucking years, Earth and Nibiru meet. They have been watching us all the time. There are Nibiruans that walk the face of this planet, look like you and me, the same size as you and me, and even know that I'm most probably making this video. Like, I'm dumbfounded. I really am. I don't know what the fuck to say. Like, I should be talking about the Mandela effect and all the shit that's going on in my life with the Mandela effect. But I saw two versions of my dog, and it was my fucking dog. They sat together as if they were sisters. One had pups, and little Emmy is... Actually, this is a weird thing. Little Emmy's on heat. The other one had already had her pups. The animals were just as placid as Emmy was. Looked exactly like her. Even had the same little fucking scar on her nose. I can tell you now that I wasn't the only one that went through this. And if you're out there and you were one of the four of us, because I think one of them might have been one of them, or you're one of the five of us, I don't know. But if you were one of them, let me fucking know, because I'll know your face. I'll never forget your faces, because I saw their faces. I sat at a fucking table with them. They were just as dumbfounded as I was. And like when the son saw his mum, he was shocked. They hadn't seen each other in a year or two. And they just ran to each other, embraced, scared shitless, but embraced. But as they were scared, but they weren't scared. Do you know what I mean? They were scared, but weren't scared. I believe our governments know about this, and have been lying to us. Nibiru is what's causing all the problems we're having. Not the chemtrails, by the way. That's not them. That's human. That was one thing I did manage to ask them. And it was strange. You ever tried talking with your mind? It's really fucking hard. Like, you're trying to think one thing and then say something else, and it just doesn't fucking work. But they understand what the fuck you're trying to say. To me, yeah, this is going to live with me for the rest of my life, guys. And now, but the thing is, I still want to go fucking home. I still want to go the fuck home. I don't know what fucking reality I'm in, but I know it's not mine. But I think they know. But we were made for one reason. We were made for one reason only. And yes, there were slaves on Nibiru. That's going to upset some of you. There were slaves on Nibiru. And there were prisoners on Nibiru. I saw them being walked down the streets. But it was a beautiful place. But I didn't see these until the second day. First day, I saw all the good stuff. Second day, oh, okay, yeah, I did see what I thought was Judgment Day, but that was about the only bad thing they showed. But on the second night, they also showed me it was pretty much as if I was living a biblical event. They were showing me the evil and the corruption on our planet. And they're not fucking happy with it, by the way. They are not fucking happy with it. And they showed me thievery. They showed me pretty much everything they could show me about the evil that happened on this world. They showed me that I was stronger than I thought I was. They let me sit in rooms that, like, you know, on Earth, there's no way you would sit in a room like that. You would think you were in one of the biggest mansions on the fucking planet. Because if it was on Earth, I would have had to be in fucking some of the biggest homes on fucking Earth. And let's just say none of them have fucking ceilings that fucking high. But the whole point is, guys and girls, that this shit, to me, guess what? I don't care if not a single one of you fucking believe me. Because I went through it. I've seen the fucking thing. I've walked the streets of Nibiru. 4 other humans, and most probably, well, maybe 5, I don't know. I'm still debating whether he was, like, from Earth. The fact that he was in hand and shit like that with them. I don't care what you guys think about it. This is me telling you what I've fucking seen. You don't want to believe it, you don't. But it's fucking freaky. Like, all I remember was I did a stream about everyone needs to fucking work together. And I was tired because it was pretty fucking late, and I went to bed. And as I said, I really thought I was dying. I really thought I was dying. Because, like, I had all the symptoms of fucking, like, a heart attack. Well, sort of all the symptoms. I didn't have the chest pain. I was very tight-chested. Very tight-chested. But I'm trying to breathe their atmosphere. And even now, like, it's been, what time is it now? It's 9 o'clock now. It's been 3.5 hours since I woke up from going up there again. And my lungs are still tight, but just in case, I've taken some anginine, just in case. But I know, because yesterday, when it happened yesterday, it took about 5 hours, 6 hours. My lungs came good and everything like that. And I have had no heart problems. In fact, my back feels like phenomenal. My knee feels phenomenal. Still swollen from what something did to me. My shoulder, yeah, still got a bit of pain on there. So I don't know whether they've done some medical stuff to me or whatever. But all I know is that, man, to me it was as if I was dead. It really was. It felt like that. It felt like I had fucking died. But it wasn't. The dogs are fine. The dogs are fine. Oh, they handled the atmosphere like nothing fucking else. They're sitting beside me. Like, Ruby, when Ruby, like, came to on the floor, she's just looking at me and she's shaking her fucking head. And sort of like, they knew that we were somewhere fucking weird. But not a problem with them. They, like, it was just another fucking place for them. But for me, I can honestly say I've walked the streets of fucking Nibiru, or I've walked on the streets of gold, because those streets, by the way, look like they're gold. They're that fucking shiny, it's beyond a fucking joke. And by the way, yeah, they don't wear gold. The king does, but they don't. They crush it up. They crush gold. They use it. I don't know whether that was what was in the atmosphere that was hard to breathe. And trust me, I've licked my lips, I've put my fingers up, and yeah, I've even stuck my fingers up my nose to see if I was breathing gold. And I really did. And no, I didn't find any gold. I even checked it with them, metal detector. But there was so much there, and it's a beautiful place. Those Egyptian sculptures that you see, right? Those Sumerian sculptures that you see, they are nothing more than masks. Some are ceremonial, some are breathing masks. Like the breathing mask is an eagle. And I think that's what the fuck I was wearing. So you've just got to ask yourself, is this going to happen to more of us? I hope it does. I really do. You're going to think, if it does happen to you, you're going to think you're fucking dying. You really will. That first breath is going to feel like a heart attack. And you keep on breathing, you realise you're still fucking alive, or I'm dead and I'm fucking walking around the streets of heaven, but they've got this fucking weird suit that opens and closes and lets me breathe for a while, and fucking your lungs go hard and everything. And all it is there. It's like when you go up into the mountains. You've got to acclimatise to the mountains. And actually, when I think about it, that's most probably the best fucking way to explain the air. It was like being on a fucking high mountain. I've only ever been to 16,000, and I was only there for 20 minutes, and that was hard enough. And sort of, not 16,000, what was it? Oh, I don't know now. 16,000 feet. Yeah, it was feet, not metres. I know that. It was 16,000 feet. It was the biggest mountain down in Tassie, that fucking one. And it was actually hard to breathe up there for a thing. No, gravity is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit lighter. You can't jump. You don't jump up 16,000 fucking feet when you jump. But it was lighter. I didn't feel heavy. I didn't feel the weight that I was. It was if I was back to being the weight. And the strange, and you don't want to know the really strange fucking thing, guys? My sugar levels went from being in the sky high numbers down to good numbers. And I don't know, this might have even happened the night before as well, because the day before that, I actually had a low, and it was as if I didn't need my insulin anymore, and the insulin made my sugars go down low. So I don't know whether they took me the day before as well. But the strange thing is, when I think about, well, what I thought were dreams, may not have actually been dreams the last couple of days. I think that was maybe them either testing me and things like that, because I'd been through some things where, like, I was tested on similar scenarios to what they were showing me of the evil, as how I would react, whether I was going to be evil or whether I was going to be good. I don't know what is lanky. I don't know what that is. Lanik. I don't know what that is. The stuff they put in my head and everything was more about Earth than anything. And most of the cities, all these, I can tell you now, all the megalithic cities around Earth were built by them. Blue. Sky was blue. Blue as the year it is on Earth. Lot clearer. Oh, sorry, hang on. No, not on Earth, because Earth is grey. It was blue. Beautiful fucking blue. Let's just say I no longer think we are on. You know how I was saying, we could be on Nibiru for all we know. Trust me, we're not on fucking Nibiru. It's sort of like I have in my mind, and I think one of the other beards is sort of in the thing that this effect is alien related, but after you see that dimensional wall and the way they travel, like they can travel in ships, and they do travel in ships. I think part of my journey was in the ship, because I walked through the wall and then I was in a more, how would you say, mechanical sort of a place on the way home. I do remember part of the trip on the way home. And you want to know something? The strange thing about it is the rooms reminded me so much of nearly every other abduction experience. So I think all my abduction experiences have been into the ships. This is the first time I've ever been taken directly to the planet. And it is here. And I hate to tell you guys, it's going to be here for a few more years. And we are going to see a lot more problems. And let's just say, the government's got a shock coming to them, because they're coming back. They are coming back, folks. And yes, they do think they're gods. Well, some of them do. But, no. Oh, sorry guys. They know I've got it. I've got my snack, which is their favourite snack at the moment. Little fruit pillows. And I'm being harassed by Lady Emerald at the moment. Down there. Okay, you have that one. And, yeah, so it's... Yeah. Yeah, very fucking freaky experience, everybody. That's all I can fucking say. No marks on my body this time. Not a single mark. There's not a single mark on my body. The process was different. I went directly from my bed to Nibiru through some kind of dimensional, vortex, portal, wall. It looked like a flat wall, and it just slid. I saw it coming towards me, as if it just was like a wall that was moving and just coming. Well, the one that sat with us at the table, walked us from it was like a fountainy sort of thing with the person being punished in the middle, and the little bowls were around that pool, and you had to drink from them so you didn't go through what she was going through. And then we walked down the corridor, and I can tell you now she was about 20 foot tall, because she had to lean on her side to hold the hand of the little guy. And I mean 20 fucking feet. And she was small. There were bigger ones, much fucking bigger ones. And they were just walking round the streets like nothing else. And to them, and like they were just walking past me. Whilst we were in the group, and whilst they were walking with us on the first day, they were all walking past us. And it was like walking down fucking India, like the blue ones that you see in India. And I didn't see anybody with extra arms. I saw blue-skinned people. I saw green-skinned people. I saw green-skinned cherubim. And some of the names, they did tell me some of the names, but I don't think I could ever fucking pronounce them because they said them into my head. I wouldn't even know how to pronounce the word. I know what they were, but I can't. It's unusual. You just can't say it. It's just something that can't be said. And this is most probably why I can't understand those words on the tape. I think they've been in my house before. Some of them can talk normal English because they live amongst us. But I'm sure that technology has got something to do with it. I reckon it is. I really think it is. But this would be the most pleasant. And all the other Bluebeards are saying, oh, they went through a shit experience, a rough experience. But unless I've shifted and gone to a new reality, but I don't think I have. I really don't, because there's notes in the journal that I've left. So I don't know what the fuck is going on, guys and girls, but yeah, something else to throw on the charts of a possibility of it. And this is going to be interesting to see how many experiences I have, because yeah, let's just say at the moment I'm not going to complain about them. This was not a bad experience, but my back feels great. My back feels fucking absolutely incredible today. And I've had nothing, I've taken nothing for it this morning. Not a thing for it. I've been there for about, it wasn't as long last night, but because I think that because the day before I was there longer because I spent most of the time in the suit. I'd say most probably 5 hours at the most last night. But it was the exact same experience. But to look at the granite, and they actually showed me what they did. And they were telling me we made, they didn't say it, they didn't speak it, but we made your buildings and the pyramids and things like that. They even showed me images of Earth in their day, which was very fucking beautiful. Do you know those pyramids might have had limestone on the outside, but they also were polished fucking limestone. And, okay, how do you polish fucking limestone? That one's got me. But it was said that even, there's records that show that the pyramids glistened and shone like beacons. And that's what they showed me in the thing. But that's what Nibiru looked like. It looked like exactly like you were walking down the fucking streets of fucking Egypt. Beautiful. The only difference is that everybody's fucking taller than you. But not everybody was tall. The Greys were the smallest, or not the Greys, the Nibiru. The Nibiru and little aliens that you call cherubims. We call them Greys. They were the smallest race. Then us. Then the blue ones were taller than the lady. The lady, the 20-foot lady, she had an olive skin. Pretty much looked like us, human. The blue ones looked human. The green ones looked human-ish. I never saw anybody higher than a guard, like more. I never saw no royals. I didn't get that thing. I did see the lady being punished. She was a blue-skinned lady, standing in the, and it was like a fountain or whatever. I don't know whether that's how they punish them or whatever, but it was like a fountain sort of thing going on at the same time. There was something sitting behind that fountain, but I couldn't make out what it looked like. You just couldn't see it. You just could not fucking see it. It was amazing though. And I mean, it was amazing, guys and girls. I've been so fucking excited about this beyond a joke. And seriously, you got to ask Scott Harrison how many fucking emails I sent the poor bugger. Sorry, Scott. I was excited. I wanted to talk to you guys before I fucking went and done this vid, because you guys have been talking to Brian Forrester. Brian Forrester would love to fucking hear about this shit. Because the images that I have seen of what he dreams of seeing, and trust me, you ever watch this video, Brian, If you fucking saw what Nibiru fucking looked like, mate, you would, yeah, you'd cream your pants, man. You'd cream your pants. It was fucking beautiful. It really did look like heaven. I felt like I was in heaven. And it was only after a while that I'm not in heaven, I'm in Nibiru. And they started telling me the other stuff, and it sort of just trying to work it all the fuck out. It's sort of, I'm still trying to process it. You can hear the fucking excitement in my fucking voice. Like, do you know all I want to do is go back to bed and pray that they take me again, just so I can learn more? I even believe they may be the ones that have stuck all these inventions in my head over the years. And if they ever do take me again, I'm going to ask them if I can paint it or if I can do something. And because, man, it was the best experience I've ever experienced. And as I said, I truly don't care if no one believes me. I've been through this. For someone that has been an abductee all his life, g'day Michelle, how are you, darling? For someone that has been an abductee all his life and has been through the Mandela effect, has been through different dimensional shifts and things like that, man, this one to me is something that is going to stick with me the rest of my life. It made me forget about the effect altogether. As I said, I thought I was dead. I thought the hardness of breathing was my heart going on me or my lungs going on me, and turned out it was just me trying to breathe a different atmosphere. But you can breathe there. But to stay there, unfortunately, you've got to drink the water of life. And yes, they have the water of life. I don't know whether that's something similar or a diluted thing that they made us drink, and you had to drink it from the ground. And they were like, they were strange puddles. They were like, it wasn't gold. It looked more like a golden pearl shell melted into the concrete, or whatever they call it. But to me, it was granite. And you had to drink from that. You couldn't drink from anything else. You weren't allowed to drink from the fountain. There was someone in there getting covered with it, but to stop these things interfering with your mind, you had to drink from this fucking little puddle. Like, it was big enough just for two hands to go in, and the only way you could do this, you had to be laying on your stomach. You put your two hands into it and you drink. And they told me to drink, and kept on telling us all to drink. And I saw the First Lady, she had a lot of trouble trying to work out how to do it, and she eventually worked out the only way to do it was to lay down. And then I sat right next to that 20-foot lady. And she was the one that said, you don't have to endure it, because I told the others that you have to endure this. And that's when she said, no, you don't. Drink. And pointed to this little puddle. And then we all started drinking from it. And bang, we didn't experience any more of it. So, yeah, And I've got to admit, I hope I go back. I saw slaves on the street, yes. But I still want to go back. I want to learn more. I really want to learn more. And, yeah. I think some of us are going to get taken when it goes, because something was mentioned that they do take people, whether or not we become their slaves or not. That does sort of worry me a little bit. But they were testing my honesty, my reaction to evil, and stuff like that. It was really strange, guys. It really was. No, they didn't say, oh, you're here to learn. They didn't do that. They just showed us shit. That's all it was. That's all they did, Buster. They just showed us shit. And let me, and yeah, when it was, and I got to admit, they weren't upset that I spilt that glass of water or whatever was in the glass. But man, it was like picking up a fucking anvil. It really was. It was like trying to pick up a fucking anvil. I could hold it for a couple of minutes and all of a sudden it just turned and fell. Yet when it hit the table, it just sounded like a little glass hitting the table. Didn't sound like a fucking massive glass like it was. Hit the table. It just sounded like a little ting. And then just water went everywhere. No thing. But see, once, and the strange thing is, once the guy went into the kitchen, the guy that she was holding a hand as we were walking down the thing, and I was perving at a bum, and let's just say their clothing is, I would say, Romanesque, sort of Romanish. Nothing like the way we dress. They show a lot more skin. Yeah. Including even seeing a little bit of a bum as she's walking down the street through the slits. Go away. You're not having any more. That's mine. Go away. She just tried to get up behind me and steal it, the little bugger. But yeah, they were more concerned about showing us the stuff and everything like that. But to see it and to go through it, guys, this was amazing. And it really was, and I've got to say it, amazing. To see such beauty. And I mean, it was beautiful, man. That's one of the reasons I thought I was in heaven. It was that fucking beautiful. I got to see ancient Egypt the way it really truly was, because they showed me images of it, what Earth was like once before. Do you know Earth was so fucking clean? Oh, and by the way, the pyramids are power stations. They generate hydrogen. So, yeah, mystery solved about the pyramids, by the way. And those of you out there that different stuff that want to learn, man, pray that they take you. Because I wasn't the only one. I don't know how many people they're taking. Maybe they took hundreds of us. I don't know. Because all I know is others were there. Other humans. And I tell you now, if I saw them again, I'd recognise them in a fucking heartbeat. In a heartbeat. So, all you can say, I need a drink. Sorry, guys and girls. One thing about their atmosphere, it dries you out. Oh no, dead set, Buster, they're power stations. They're power stations. They put the vents, those little tubes and everything that they think are things, that's how they inject all the chemicals in to make it. One of them's to take it off. One of them's to get water. No longer have the ability to work anymore. They fell in disrepair after they left. But one thing I do know as well, we were made for one reason and one reason only, and that was to mine, to dig under the earth that they couldn't do because they were too large. If they dug pits, they will risk collapsing for them. They had to have small people. And it's just amazing. And I just want to go back. I want to go and walk the streets of Nibiru again. It was fucking beautiful. Like, if Earth ever woke up to them fucking selves, we could have such a beautiful fucking place. Because maybe they might fucking teach us. And I think they have actually already taught us. Not through what happened to me, but pretty much through what they did leave behind. And yes, the Anunnaki were the Sumerian gods, they were the Egyptian gods, they were the Roman gods, they were everybody's gods. They just adapted to their people's culture and kept them separated. They didn't want mankind finding the ability to travel through the stars. And that's pretty much where it ended. I woke up here, and I've been excited ever since, harassing poor Scott with emails, saying, "Man, you gotta ring me, gotta ring me, gotta ring me." But yeah, so you can make up your own mind. But I do think that whatever their technology is, I think it could be responsible. Because when you think about it, okay, the Mandela effect happened for about two, maybe 3 years ago. They've been approaching us for maybe even longer than that, and maybe their technology has gotten so close to us that it's causing the effect. Maybe that's one of the effects. And there's more than one Earth, by the way. That was one thing I did find out. So I think I've already told you that one. So look, guys and girls, I'm going to go. I really am. I've got a lot of processing to do in my life now. After seeing what I've seen there, I've seen things that just so beautiful that I want to create. So I'm going to say goodbye to you all. I'm going to upload it to all. And seriously, guys and girls, I don't give a fuck if you believe me or not. I have been through it. And yeah, so take it or leave it. And I got a couple of days not thinking about the Mandela effect, which helped me immensely to have a brief break from what's going on here, what's going on in my life. I got to saw beauty, so beautiful that, as I said, that I thought I was dead. And yeah, I don't know what to do with it. Don't know what to say anymore, except tell you what happened. And hopefully, yes, I know you want it and you're not fucking getting it. You can beg all you want. Yeah, it smells good, doesn't it? Emmy's sitting here licking her lips, begging. You can hear her tail whacking as she's trying to jump on me to get it. You're not having it, it's mine. It's mine. And I've got to feed them anyhow, so look, guys and girls, I'm going to catch up to you all later. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Next show, look, guys, if you want to call in and chat with me about it, yeah, feel free. But I still want to talk about some of the shit with the effect and why people need to start working together. So, yeah, I'm going to catch up to you all later. Thanks very much. Thanks very much to all the moderators for moderating the channel. It's very much appreciated. I'm going to catch up to you all laters. All right, and shut it down.